Imagine being the daughter of a sitting U.S. president, but no one's allowed to know. No birthdays at the White House, no family portraits, no acknowledgement. That was the life of Elizabeth Ann Blaesing, born out of one of the most controversial affairs in presidential history. Her mother, Nan Britton, was vilified. Her father, Warren G. Harding, denied her publicly. For decades, her very existence was debated. But in the end, DNA brought the truth to light. This is the full, untold story of what really happened to Warren G. Harding's daughter. Elizabeth Ann Blaesing was born on October 22, 1919, in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Her birth certificate listed her mother as Nan Britton and left the father's name blank. But her mother knew who the father was, and so did he. Warren G. Harding, at the time a powerful U.S. senator from Ohio, was that man. He was married, childless, with his wife Florence, and in the public eye. Nan was decades younger, a hometown girl from Marion, Ohio, who had been smitten with Harding since she was a teenager. Their affair began when Nan was barely out of high school. By her own account, she lost her virginity to Harding in 1917 in a hotel room in New York, only barely avoiding arrest when the vice squad busted in. Harding, then in his 50s, had to identify himself as a U.S. senator to escape trouble. Nan became pregnant during the final year of World War I. Harding was supportive, but from the shadows. He arranged for Nan to live discreetly in Atlantic City and Asbury Park. He sent regular money orders, sometimes through the Secret Service, and he wrote letters, intimate, poetic, and affectionate letters, but he never saw the baby. Even when Nan brought toddler Elizabeth Ann to Washington, D.C., Harding, now president, refused to look out the White House window at the bench in Lafayette Park, where his daughter sat. Elizabeth's early life was shaped by secrecy. Nan Britton, facing the stigma of being an unwed mother, made the heart-wrenching decision to place her baby with her sister and brother-in-law, Elizabeth and Scott Willits, in Athens, Ohio. The Willitses were college music professors and gave Elizabeth a stable home. She grew up using various surnames: Harding, Christian, Willits, anything but Britton. Her identity was cloaked for protection. By 1927, with President Harding dead and financial support cut off, Nan reclaimed her daughter and decided to go public. In 1927, Nan Britton self-published a memoir titled The President's Daughter. It was explosive. For the first time in American history, a woman openly claimed to have had a child with a U.S. president. The book included detailed accounts of her affair with Harding, descriptions of sexual encounters, including one in a closet near the Oval Office, photographs of young Elizabeth Ann. It was scandalous. Publishers refused to touch it, so Nan founded the Elizabeth Ann Guild and paid to print the book herself. The backlash was brutal. Newspapers refused to review it. Moral watchdog groups tried to shut it down. Police raided print shops and seized copies. And the press? They tore her apart. She was labeled a liar, a degenerate, and an opportunist. Without signed letters from Harding or formal acknowledgement, critics dismissed her story as salacious fiction. Even Harding's family joined the attack. They denied everything. Some claimed Harding had been sterile. Others hinted Nan was mentally unstable. Despite the hate, the book sold 50,000 copies, but Nan and her daughter disappeared from the public eye. After the firestorm, Nan and Elizabeth changed their last name to Blaesing, a family name, and moved to Chicago. Elizabeth Ann became Ann Blaesing. She enrolled at Sullivan High School and lived a quiet life. In 1938, she married Henry Hines Blaesing, a Chicago office manager. They had 3 sons and later moved to California, settling in Downey and Glendale. Elizabeth Ann built a life far from the headlines. She didn't write a book. She didn't chase cameras. She just lived. But history has a way of circling back. In 1964, the discovery of love letters Harding wrote to another mistress, Carrie Fulton Phillips, reignited media interest in Harding's private life. Reporters tracked down Elizabeth Ann, now in California. She didn't slam the door. She told them calmly and quietly, "My mother told me when I was very young, that President Harding was my father. I am not ashamed, but I don't like the publicity. She asked for privacy. The press, somewhat surprisingly, respected it. After a few interviews, the spotlight faded again. Elizabeth Ann passed away in 2005 in Oregon. She was 86 years old. She never pursued legal recognition or DNA proof. She didn't need it. Her mother's word was enough for her. But for the world, the question lingered. Was she really Harding's daughter? In 2015, nearly a century after her birth, the truth came out. Harding's grandnephew, Dr. Peter Harding, and Elizabeth Ann's grandson, James Blaesing, agreed to DNA testing through Ancestry DNA. The results were conclusive, 99.9% confidence. They were second cousins, which meant Elizabeth Ann was Warren Harding's daughter. History had caught up with the truth. The DNA evidence changed everything. Nan Britton's memoir, once scorned, was vindicated. Historians had to revise presidential biographies. The Harding family, some of whom had denied the story for decades, now embraced their Blaesing relatives. When James Blaesing called Abigail Harding and said, "Hi, cousin," it wasn't just a warm moment. It was healing, nearly 100 years overdue. Elizabeth Ann Blaesing's life wasn't about drama. It was about dignity. She didn't chase headlines. They found her. Her story reminds us that history isn't just wars and elections. It's people. It's children sitting on